Okay. Okay, welcome everybody to the public safety meeting on May 26th, 2022. Start off any public comment. Don't have any. So that being said, we're gonna move to number 3 first, since Vic's on a time limit, to have him help with this letter. This letter, background on it is regarding the vendors that we've been having problems with in the neighborhoods. They've done task force on them. They came out, they threw their food away, and they're back the next day and they're all set up again. The biggest problem too is they're blocking sidewalks. Nobody can access the sidewalks. There's problems with them using propane, dumping all their grease out when they're done into the gutters, trash, and then also traffic stopping and causing, unsafe traffic conditions, for people. And they're overflowing over on top of the sidewalk, the whole sidewalk, and then down into the bike lane where they have the legs of the easy up and the trash cans in the bike lane. And then all the cars stop in front of it. And then you have traffic problems coming off of North Gaffey, turning onto Capitol. So anyway, because of all of this and because of the vendors over on Taper, the fruit vendors, they just are there constantly. Their trash is there and the same type of problems. There's no sanitation, there's no oversight, no nothing. And so we've got to really send this home and make people, think about what's going on. It's not fair. There are commercial zones where they can be in. They don't need to be in the neighborhoods and by schools and all that. Here's the letter. Northwest San Pedro.
You need to zoom in.
Okay, let's see. Zoom is view.
Down at the bottom right-hand corner will do it too.
Where?
There's a magnification thing. Yeah. Click on the plus. Okay.
There, is that better?
That's better.
Okay, so Northwest San Pedro neighboring communities are experiencing an increasing number of vendors who are operating illegally on local sidewalks in prominent residential areas, while outdoor food operations offer entrepreneurial opportunities for vendors and convenience for customers. Closer consideration be given to the impacts of public safety and welfare. Some troubling incidents associated with sidewalk vending have been observed, including but not limited to the following: improper food and handling, a temperature, no hand washing stations or sinks, open flame grills fueled with unsecure propane tanks, those that pose fire risks, especially in high fire hazard zones and during our current drought. Equipment and customers blocking the sidewalk, forcing pedestrians to walk in the street, cars stopping and causing traffic hazards in highly trafficked areas, large amounts of trash left behind, including the improper disposal of used cooking oil and debris. As sidewalk vending operations continue to expand, the associated risks and hazards have become more evident. The current ordinance, along with the rules and regulations, do not go far enough to safeguard public safety, health, general welfare. The following proposed amendments would protect all included in this venture. All sidewalks, vendors, stationary, and mobile shall be required to obtain all applicable city, county, state, business license, permit, decals. All required documents shall be prominently displayed in plain view. All vendors who sell food shall be required to obtain a permit from the Los Angeles County Department of Health. All sidewalk vendors who sell food should comply with California Health Safety Codes, LA County Department of Public Health standards, which regulate the preparation, handling, distribution of food items, including but not limited to the following. Is it potable or portable? Shouldn't it be portable?
No, it's spelled correctly. It is spelled correctly.
It is potable, not POR.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, in their case, it would have to be both, but that's the way it's worded is correct.
Okay, potable water and sinks for food handlers to wash their hands and utensils, food obtained from approved sources, proper equipment to maintain food in required temperature, food stored and handled prepared under sanitary conditions, foods protected from contamination or adulteration, restroom availability for food handlers. All food carts shall be self-contained with appropriate equipment necessary to comply with food sanitation and safety requirements. Open flame grills or any kind of utensils requiring the use of combustible agent, liquid, propane tank, fossil fuels are strictly prohibited from use in the public right of way, as those pose safety hazards and have the potential of causing great bodily harm or death in the event of an explosion or fire. A vendor may not use a stationary cart to vend in residential areas. Hours of operation for stationary vendors in areas zoned commercial or industrial shall be between the hours of 8 a.m. and 9, or consistent with the hours of operation of adjacent businesses. All carts shall not exceed a length of 72 inches wide, width of 54, or height of 78 inches, including roof, awning, umbrella, or canopy. Sidewalk vending shall not obstruct, impede pedestrian.
Okay, what is that part trying to say?
It's supposed to be impede traffic flow on sidewalks, and I'm not pedestrian traffic flow on sidewalks.
So impede pedestrian and traffic flow?
Well, impede pedestrian traffic.
Well, no, go Control Z, Command Z. Command Z.
Here, there,
Get
traffic.
it? Okay. So impede pedestrian traffic.
Must not obstruct. Impede pedestrian traffic. Must not obstruct. Vending shall not obstruct or impede pedestrian traffic on sidewalks, I think is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you're missing on.
Yeah.
Well, but then you also have roadways at the end of that sentence, so it's not only pedestrian.
Sidewalk vending should not obstruct or impede pedestrian traffic.
Okay, then
that should be a period.
Okay.
Impede pedestrian traffic on sidewalks.
Okay.
Or
pathways.
sidewalks.
Roadways.
Or pathways. Whoops, hello. Or pathways. Or roadways, I guess.
Well, no, because you're not going to have pedestrians on roadways.
Or pathway should not obstruct or impede pedestrian traffic, pedestrian right of way, because it's supposed to be the.
Okay, how about this? Sidewalk vending shall not obstruct or impede pedestrian traffic on sidewalks or pathways. Take out the comma. Take out the comma after sidewalks.
And then period.
No. Take out the comma after sidewalks.
Oh, okay.
Put the comma back after pathways. Okay, so
and the
pedestrian sidewalks or pathways, or slow, or impede traffic on roadways. How about that?
Yep.
Because you won't necessarily know what kind of traffic that is. It could be bicycles, it could be motor vehicles.
Yeah.
It could be
minimum 5-foot sidewalk clearance is required. All clearances shall comply with the American Disabilities ADA. Their equipment, including food, cannot overhang onto bike lanes or street or otherwise block those areas.
Okay. Make streets plural too.
Sidewalk vending cannot impede traffic flow or traffic safety.
Okay, this is another one. What is it trying
Yeah.
to say?
So I would say there's probably a period in there should be no stopping and idling of cars. So period, and then there should be no stopping or idling of cars.
Okay. Take out the of and change the and to an or.
What?
There should be no stopping or idling of cars.
There. Yeah, that. Prior to issuance of a permit, a vendor shall provide proof of general liability with limit of less than $1,000 each occurrence and workers' compensation that are acceptable to the city. Any sidewalk vending business having been found in violation of 3 or more times of applicable regulations within a 1-year period may have their permit suspended or revoked. There needs to be better enforcement. They are cited and they return the next day to the same location and still no permit and not in compliance. There needs to be more continuous enforcement rather than random visits with no follow-up visits. Random visits with no follow-up. That sounds too like.
Yeah.
Furthermore, it is incumbent of the city to dedicate the needed resources and funds to establish a separate agency department dedicated to overall management of the sidewalk vending program. Responsibilities would include the oversight of the permit suspension revocation process, effective communications outreach with surrounding communities, coordination of enforcement, and the establishment of public complaint process. The Northwest San Pedro Board strongly urges the Los Angeles City policymakers to consider the above proposed amendments and recommendations. A well-regulated vending program benefits the city, leads to orderly commerce, and safeguards the public welfare.
The law says they have to have $1 million excuse me,
No.
$1 million liability. That's a lot of money for a sidewalk vendor.
What? That's a,
I'm just
it's
curious what the law
$1,000.
is, what the law says.
Yeah. Well, no, a liability of $1 million if they're going to set up vending and a business, they can get that pretty cheap for $1 million liability.
I don't think so. That's a lot. Oh, I don't know what the law requires.
We can say it, show proof of general liability. We'll remove the limit and just say with general liability and workman's compensation. Just do that.
And it does say that are acceptable to the city. So
yeah,
if the city,
So that follows the law.
right. So if the city says it has to be $1 million, then it has to be $1 million.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what it is either.
yeah,
But yeah, I think if we leave it at acceptable to the city, that should cover it.
right. So what do y'all think?
Well, obviously, since I made all these changes and we figured out those 2 parts where I was wondering what they were supposed to be, I'm okay with it, but I'm also not a committee member, so
I know.
it doesn't really matter.
What do you think, Kelly?
It sounds good to me.
Yeah, so I
think
move that.
I think there needs to be some kind of order with it, obviously. I think it's gotten out of hand and it's not just there. I know a lot of areas are having a difficult time with these and we're not the only ones. And I think that I don't want to mess with anybody's livelihood, but I also want to
But they don't need to be like firing up a propane tank 5 feet from my house.
Yeah.
You know, and combustible like stuff all going over the place
Yeah,
and
but
taco.
that's no different than your next door neighbor having a propane barbecue.
It is. It's worse because of the oils and everything all over the place, and then them dumping
that's
it.
different too. Now that's something that needs to be. That's a hazard thing, a hazardous
Yeah.
waste. So that.
And then the
that has to be
traffic,
dealt
there's
with in a
already been
different
an,
manner.
there's already been an accident out there because of them, because they're blocking Capitol, the right lane with all their stuff. They're easy up, and I'm gonna include pictures with this for some of the stuff. And that's the thing to do, Vic, too, is what I'll do is I'll put on a sheet, make like a collage on a sheet of the pictures that you've sent me and the ones that I have to send with this letter. Because that makes a difference too with the letter, is to have pictures. But
Well, that's why I keep, that's why I've been sending them daily. So.
and I have some of the other pictures that Dan Luther has sent too.
Okay, well, that way they can't say, well, we didn't know, nobody told us.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm being the nag and I'm sending them every day if they're there every day.
So I move that we accept the letter.
I second it. Where's John tonight?
It's his birthday,
Oh,
and he was told he couldn't go to the meeting because they're taking him to Raffello's for dinner. So
okay. Oh, wow.
So all those in favor, us too, aye. It's a quorum. I mean, we only have 3 members, so.
I was just checking the list while you were talking. It's like, well, yeah, you got a quorum, 2 out of 3.
2 out of
So,
3
yeah,
ain't bad.
So Vic, for me to have this the way that it is, okay, tutorial to me here, what do I do to shut off the comments and have it be
Okay.
ready to go?
Go up to the menu. See all those menus across the top?
Yeah.
Home, insert, draw, go to review.
Yeah.
Go to review. Click on review. No, review. That one. Okay, now go over to about 2/3 of the way. There's an item called accept. Well, okay, wait, before you do that, go to the one in the middle that says track changes.
And
no, left, the other left. Keep going. No, left. Right, okay, now.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Click on the little arrow. Yeah, click on that.
For everyone.
Click on it.
I did. And it says for everyone, just mine. So I hit for everyone.
Okay, I think the change it. Well, click on the big button, track changes. I'm trying to make sure it's turned off. No, up, go up, right there. No, okay, it looks like it's off. Okay, now go to that accept one and click on, no.
That one? No?
Don't click that. Click on the little arrow next to the accept. No, that one.
This one. Accept all changes and stop tracking.
Yes. See, I don't see those little drop downs here. Like
it's still here. There's still one.
Well, the comments are there. Okay, click on the comments are there, but those aren't changes.
Right.
Okay, go back down to the comments. Scroll back down to the comments. Click on there and see if there's an option to delete, like an X. I can't remember what it looks like.
Oh, geez.
Okay, try control clicking.
Control?
Yes, not delete comment. Okay, do that on the other one. And that should be it, I think.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
There you go. Quick tutorial. Okay, and on that note, I need to go to get on this other one.
Okay. All righty.
I'm glad we got.
I wanted to do that, but unfortunately,
Yeah, I did not look for like extra spaces in the middle of sentences and stuff, so
There, it's all done.
if you find
So,
any of those, then obviously that doesn't change any content, so.
save as, and then,
And then we may have people trying to amend at the board meeting anyway, so. But at least we can say it's out of committee here. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
alrighty, thanks, Vic.
Oh, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
So let's see now. The, go back to screen share screen. Let's look at the agenda. Oh, that's not the right one. Share screen. Where's the agenda at? There we go. Okay, so okay, so we did the so they did have a task force, and the task force came and they, you know, and this is the thing that is the problem. They came and they threw the food out of all the people. They cited like 7 people and they threw out all their food and they shut them down. But then the next day they were all back doing the same
Yeah.
thing. And the biggest problem is, you know, there's no sanitation, nothing. They aren't wearing gloves. They aren't being careful. There's no health code stuff, you know, and that's a problem, as well as the way that they're cooking. And like I said, dumping the grease and, you know, just this whole safety features that aren't imposed on them, you know. So anyway, the other letter, the next one, oh, this part, discussion on sidewalk repairs and letter. We still not received a response from the sidewalk thing from anybody. So, I don't know, at some point we're gonna have to do a follow-up or something, but I guess Issues is gonna do a whole thing on sidewalks too. So maybe they can touch, look, our public safety already sent a letter and you haven't responded. So what are you gonna do about this, you know?
Right.
So the other letter, see, stop share, go here, and where is, oops, it's not open. Okay. So this letter, darn it, and I don't have the other source. You'll be interested in this. So I'll read this to you. I didn't load it. Let me, darn it. So there was a resolution that went through city council with 4118. And what it does is it takes and does special designation to certain places and areas that it prevents within 1,000 feet or 500 feet of any homeless encampments being. They can't sleep or lay or block or be around that area. So Joe Boschiano did a resolution. You know what? Give me a minute. Let me load this so you can see this, because this is upsetting to me when you look at it. And this is why I did the letter. Just a sec. It's hard to explain it to you with you not being able to see it.
Right.
And the reason why I did this. Get this thing scanned in and then I can.
I thought it covered all schools, period.
No, he has a special
But this is just for
designation.
specific signage. That's what you're saying?
This is, in order for it to cover the schools and the parks, according to the SLO, when I talked to him and stuff, and LAPD, the signs have to designate it. These signs have to be posted in order for it to be covered. Otherwise, they can be there.
I didn't think
So,
they could. I thought that that was just a given. They weren't allowed to be around anywhere near schools and stuff.
nope, nope. He has to designate it, and he has to go through city council and have it voted on to designate those areas. This is why I'll show you, you'll see. Save, and then I'll put this on my desktop, save. Okay, so now find where it went. Okay, here it is. So let's open this baby up.
Because where my sister lives is a park. There's no signage or anything, but
And
they
where?
come and remove them all the time.
Where she lives, where?
She's in Harbor City.
That's because they probably have the areas designated.
Oh.
Because
Well, so
look,
there's no signage. That's what I'm saying. I thought they were specifically all.
no, because here you go. Here it is. This is his resolution. Municipal code resolution designates specified areas against sitting, lying, sleeping, storing, using, maintaining, or placing person otherwise obstructing public right of way. Whereas the below listed locations are experiencing need for enforcement against the above listed provisions. Whereas the council hereby finds the public health, safety, and welfare serve prohibition of further fines that sleeping, lodging within the stated proximity of the designated areas and unhealthy, safe, unsafe, and incompatible with safe passage. The council has posted the file relevant to documentation further detailed in code. Circumstances of these locations pose a particular ongoing threat to public safety, therefore resolved. Los Angeles Municipal Code, placing personal property otherwise. So they're all daycare centers here and parks and schools. So he did all these daycare centers here. If you look at the addresses, they're all in different areas throughout the area.
Right, those are all daycares, yes.
But then you come here to the parks. The only parks he did was Paseo del Mar, Cumbria Drive Park, Gappy Street, and Westmont, where just across from Home Depot, he didn't do the whole thing there, the whole gate across from Target.
Right.
Herbert Avenue, Leland Avenue, West 12th Street, Park, a school, Southwestern Avenue, school.
Well, they didn't even do Elma Park.
Huh?
They didn't do Elma Park either.
Elma?
Yeah, I'm right up the street from Elma Park.
Leland
And they
Street?
didn't do Averill Park either, did they?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, Averill Park's on there?
That's, I checked the address. It's Dodson Avenue.
Oh, okay.
15th Street School.
Yeah, we
9th
had
Street
people
School.
living on the steps at Leland, and I live across the street from Leland. They got rid of them.
Leland who?
Leland Street School.
Yeah, I don't
have
think
those
they
big
have them
in-
listed because they've got the
They're
sign.
listed on there. They're there.
They got
So when you
Tabor
go into their
Avenue.
little
The
alcove,
only school in our area that they put on here was Tabor Avenue. That's it. They didn't put Mary Star. They didn't put Cooper.
yeah, they didn't put any of the other schools.
They didn't put 7th Street School.
Nope. So why did,
They didn't put Willenberg.
no, and Willenberg's on the back of a canyon, so people can live back there.
Yep. So because of this, new share is why I did this letter. They didn't do Park Western Elementary either, that has a lot of people right on the back of the canyon of Peck Park.
Yeah.
They didn't do Peck Park either. So I wrote, after much review, designated a list of locations for the 4118 signage. The Northwest San Pedro NC is disappointed to see many locations that should be designated in our area are not. Most of your designated areas listed are in central and downtown San Pedro. There are many areas of concern that should be on your list. Park Western Elementary, Harbor Highlands Park,
Right.
Peck Park, The Greenbelt across from Target and Gaffey, the whole strip should be designated. Cooper
Right.
James Opportunity School, Mary Star of the Sea High School, Field of Dreams up there, the soccer field up at the top of Westmont,
Yep,
7th Street Elementary,
yep.
Willenberg School, Leland Park. And you said Elma isn't on there either?
Elma Park is not on there. It's on 21st. It's between 21st and 22nd on Myler.
Oh, it's not in our area. That's why I didn't
No.
think about it. Yeah, that's in coastal. I'm just concentrating on our area
Right.
right now. You have designated other parks and schools, so all parks and schools should qualify for this special designation for signage. The impact of other areas you have designated and ours not having that designation is tremendous. We have seen huge increases in homeless population numbers in the Northwest boundaries. We ask that we are not made to be the dumping ground of the unhoused population and a victim of whack-a-mole to relocate encampments. We ask that you act on these locations immediately and look forward to your timely response.
Yeah, sounds good. So do we move to pass it, or I mean to send it, or what do we do?
Move to pass it and send it to the board.
Okay. I move. And I think you have to second it, or
I
vice versa?
second.
Okay. No, they definitely
All
need
in
to have it on
favor?
everywhere.
3
Because
to
I know
0, or
initially
2.
when they were trying to make those, they were trying to provide these storage areas for people like homeless could come and put their stuff
There
there.
is one that there's one at LAPD at Navigation Center.
Well, they were trying to do it over by Barton Hill, and Barton Hill people went nuts over it. The schools went nuts
Yeah,
over
we
it.
did. Yeah. So what they ended up doing, they put that storage facility at the police station. They built a
Okay.
whole big, huge storage facility there. But they've said it's full.
You know, if they had like an area where, I mean, we have so many areas that are unoccupied that military owns or whatever. I mean, yeah, they're scenic or whatever, but we have so many places that we could put like those tiny homes and put people there, and there's a whole big
See,
area.
what happens is they want to all regulate it. It has to be like, you know, like at Harbor College. Oh, this organization runs it. They're in charge of it and they build it and it costs, and they're all got air conditioning and whatever in them, and you know, all of that for the tiny homes to make them, you know, all fancy. But then they make them go through all this process to apply for them too. And really what was proposed, but the port said no, they have all that vacant port property, that part of the port parking lot area, they could have like an organization go in and oversee it, and security oversee it, and tell them this is the only place you can camp. This is it. You can't be on the streets and the sidewalks and all that. This is it. Have porta potties there, have security there, you know, have services there, and tell them that's the only place you can have a tent in our community.
Well, the problem is they want them to have mental health and get mental health care, and they don't want to. They don't want to be told they have to take medicine, or they have to be, you know, and that's what's really bad.
Well, a lot of them have mental health problems and they self-medicate.
Right. Well, that's the problem. And they won't, you know, they don't want to follow the rules. So yeah, I don't know how I don't foresee how we're going to get rid of all of it. There's so many other problems right now. I mean, like, we're trying to get active shooter training.
I truly believe, and this is my thoughts on this, I really think that there's a lot of people trying to make money off the homeless, and they don't exist unless there isn't homeless. And this is my personal opinion. And I think that what's happening is that many people are like the contractors and stuff, they're going for these big dollar figures for like a little like studio, $700,000-$900,000 to build one for one homeless person.
Yeah.
And it's just like these huge amounts of money. And I really think there are so many vacant properties and vacant buildings and vacant government-owned like sites
Yeah,
that, I'm tired of hearing that they can't be used. You can go in and gut those things of asbestos and whatever problems exist and turn them into housing, and do it cheaper. You can take
oh,
all
but
these
they
damn
want,
containers,
look what
all
they
these
did up on,
containers in the, huh?
I mean, they don't want to, they could have used military housing for years. That military housing was there forever
I know it.
and
And
they didn't
they
do
wouldn't use
anything with
it.
it. Now they're
They had
selling those for $2
complaints
or $3
about it.
million. It's
Yep.
all about who wants to make money
But
off of it.
think about it. We have those port containers, all of them stacking up all over the place, tons of them.
Mhm.
You can take and make like these little homes. They're doing it in Portland, Oregon, out
Yeah.
of the shipping containers. They're making homeless housing out of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's whoever's going to make the most buck off of it. Like you said, though, it's who's going to make money off
All
of it.
these organizations that are popping up all over the place with their handout, for the HHH money, saying that they're a nonprofit and getting all the money, and it just goes to waste.
Yeah, it's
It's
we
not
need more
being managed
shelters.
properly or anything.
But even like the really good shelters, those people don't want to be told what to do. They don't want help. They only want help as far as whatever they can get a handout for. And I'm not saying all of them because I went through a program, so I know the difference. And I helped people, single parents, go through programs. And it's very frustrating because they don't want to be told what to do. They don't want to try to better themselves. And for women, which really infuriates me is a woman would rather leave with a guy than to make herself independent and be able to take care of herself.
Right.
And
And
it's
a
really
lot of,
frustrating.
but a lot of the bridge homes and stuff like that, they gotta quit allowing them to have one foot in the door and one foot out the door. They don't like the rules. So half the time they're living in a tent, at an encampment, and then they hold the bed in the bridge home where they come there occasionally to sleep.
Yeah.
They aren't staying there full time. And I don't know.
Well, when the moratorium goes on the rents out, we're going to have the cost of living in California is so expensive. I don't know how anybody's going to be able to afford a place.
When the moratorium on what?
On the rent is up.
Oh yeah.
Which is, I don't know, I keep hearing different dates every time I turn around.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the thing is, there's a lot of things in play for California. If they go to automation too at the port, a lot of people are going to, if they don't get retrained and all that, there's a financial difficulty for a lot of people there.
Yeah, that's coming up too. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just difficult times for everybody. I got to make sure I include this resolution thing with the letter too when I submit it, so that we have that, so that for the 4118 letter, because if I don't include that, people are going to be scratching their head going like you did. It makes a difference seeing that. Yeah. So let's see what else. Oh, and then the fires.
Yeah, we've had a lot of those.
10 acres were burnt. You know that, right?
That was quick. Yeah, no, I knew. It's still, I know that I didn't get to the school again. Last time I got to the school, so I'm glad I didn't. But it really got close to the houses. Yeah.
It did. It got really close. One guy was hosing down his backside and has some like smoke damage, I guess. Supposedly a couple people had some stuff that was burnt, like edge of the house and stuff like that they're going to have repaired.
Oh wow.
Like, dang, that's nuts though.
It was so quick. I mean, it was weird because I was up on the hill and I was coming around the hill on PB Drive, turning on PB Drive East. I saw the smoke for just a minute and then I was past it already. And my friend called and said, "Do you see the fire?" And I said, "No, I couldn't see it." But from her house, she could see the whole thing. And
Yeah.
then my other girlfriend who lives right by there, they were wetting their house down because it was really close to her house. Because she's right there by the park.
Oh, is she on Summerlin or?
I think she's on Summerlin.
Yeah. Yeah,
But yeah,
Summerlin was, a lot of people were at risk right there on Summerlin. And also anybody like on Leland Street, like
Yeah.
this part of Leland up this side, they were all, because it was in the canyon where Peck Park comes down to Leland Park. It attaches over here on Gaffey. So it
Right.
was really close to us in a lot of ways too. You know, I'm like, holy moly.
Did they
But it
figure out
burned.
what caused it? Was it somebody camping or cooking?
Huh?
Did they figure out what caused it?
They do not know. They said at CPAB last night, it's still under investigation.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, sources I've talked to that have done part of the investigating, that talked to the fire captain, they said that it was a homeless fire.
That's what I heard too. That's what I heard.
And they said they aren't sure how it started, if it was cooking or if somebody was smoking something and laid the ash down, and because of the brittleness,
Oh,
they'll lay
wow.
the pipe down or something, and then it just ignites. Yikes. But, you
It's
know,
definitely fire season again.
Gwen wants some sort of letter about, you know, about the public space to make sure the fires don't continue to be set, but she didn't send me the language in time for the letter or anything to get it on this meeting. So we're going to have to do something next meeting
Okay.
for the fires, but we need to try and, they really need to do something about the encampments. There's still like 14 encampments in there.
Up by Peck Park?
Peck Park in the canyon, all through the canyon.
God.
And there's some, you know, that they just refuse to leave. And a lot of the problems are too, that they go in and they've cleared it out before, but sanitation never goes in and removes all the stuff out of the canyon. You know, all their encampment, they're big. There's these encampments that are huge with tons of stuff in them. And they don't go in and remove them. And so they just go back and reestablish them after they've been kicked out.
Right. Well, the one by my sisters, they came in and moved everything out. So every time they try to come back, somebody comes in and takes it all out, which is nice.
Wow.
But it takes a lot of work, and it's a lot of, the guy who's in charge of that, he's on the phone 24/7. Anytime there's somebody there, he has everybody, because it's a park and they can't be there.
Yep. And that's the way we are with this park at Harbor Highlands. All of us around here call and they have somebody come and see, but we have signage there that says there's no, it's a sunrise sunset park. So it closes at night. So they aren't allowed to sleep there. And they aren't, you can't remove them during the day though, because the park is open space and they're allowed to lay around and be there during the day. They just can't sleep there at night.
Right. That's crazy.
But the problem is, without the signage and those signs that I'm talking about, for 4118, they can still be on the sidewalk in front of this park. Nothing prevents them from sitting up on the sidewalk in front of the park.
Yeah.
If those signs are there, that's what that prevents. Also in front of Park Western Elementary, they can be all around it and in front of it, just not on the grounds. Without the signage.
I've been behind there. I know I didn't know that there was a big, I knew there was a field, but not like as big as it was until the last fire. Cause my friend called the AP there and told him that,
there's been encampments right behind that school in the canyon, right behind the fence of the playground at Park Western.
Yeah. My basketball game has started. The Golden State has got to win. So it's the fourth game tonight.
But anyway, I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, it was a fast meeting tonight. There's not much, just these 2 letters to get them approved. And with the 2 of us, we have a quorum. So might as well.
That's perfect.
But anyway, So see
It was
you at
funny
the
'cause I
board
set up for the
meeting.
meeting to be on it, and then all of a sudden I heard you talking and it woke me up. I guess I dozed off.
I'm gonna stop the share. The meeting's over. Yeah, so
You stopped the recording.
yeah. So we're
It says I'm still recording.
is it?
Yeah.
More darn thing.